Hi, my name is Lavinia, this is Peter. Welcome to Games Made Easy. Today I'm going to teach you and give you some tips on how to play the European expansion of Wingspan. I really love this game and I think it should always be played with the expansion. What's fun about it is how with just some elements added, it gives more depth and strategy and it still remains easy to learn. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. To play the European expansion, you will need the Wingspan base game. You will shuffle all the new components into the base game. As a bird enthusiast, you will now have more birds to attract, to feed and help prosper, to build an even more impressive wildlife preserve and win the game. You will play exactly the same as the base game, but now you will have the opportunity to attract an even wider variety of birds because you have 81 new birds. You win exactly the same way, scoring points with birds, eggs, food, and any bonus points you've collected along the way. Let's have a look at the components. Those that add to the gameplay are the 81 new bird cards. We also have 5 bonus cards and 5 end of round goal tiles, and 4 new automa cards. Let's look at the new birds and their powers. Now, the biggest difference with the European birds is that 20 of them have a new power, and that is the round end Teal Power. These powers are resolved once all action cubes have been played. However, they are played before scoring the end of round goals, as some of these will affect the results. Now, the Teal Powers are resolved in clockwise order, starting with the player who went first for that round. If you have more than one, you can resolve them in the order you prefer. Remember that the Teal Powers are not like the other powers. They never activate during the round. There's also 18 new birds with, when played, white powers. Some of these are completely new and pretty cool. Now, these 4 birds will be placed sideways and now cover 2 spaces in their habitat. It's a simple but powerful idea. Now, these 6 birds here will let you take more end of game bonus cards and also add more food, more eggs, and new birds. They can be very helpful. Now, the other 8 are also quite new, as they are predators who may kill existing birds. Instead of paying for the food requirement, you can either put them on top of a bird already on your player mat, or tuck cards from your hand under them. These birds can be very powerful. We also have 5 new birds with pink powers. They will allow you to benefit from other players when they gain food, lay eggs, or tuck birds. When they do that, you will also receive a similar benefit. The rest of the birds look a lot like their North American cousins, with more than half of them having brown powers. They bring slightly different dimensions, but overall function pretty much like the base game brown powers, giving extra eggs, extra food, and cards. Another addition to the European expansion are 5 new end of round goal tiles. They add a lot of flavor. Whereas the base game dealt mostly with birds, eggs, and nests, you can now score based on powers in play, food in the personal supply, birds in hand, columns or rows filled, birds with no eggs or worth 5 or more, and birds with tucked cards or their food cost. Remember to account for the end of round Teal Powers before scoring the end of round points. Now, keep this reference handy because it just tells you the order in which to score things. Now, the last difference is the 5 end of game bonus cards. 2 of them will reward your powers, including the new Teal Powers. The other 3 work well with the new end of round goals and bring interesting new dimensions, rewarding expensive birds, birds that are more versatile, or birds with tucked cards. There's also more food, so you don't run out, and there's 15 purple eggs. You have a very nice tray to keep the cards in, and notepads to score points. These are all very pretty, but they don't change anything in the game. Let me give you some of my tips to win at Wingspan European Expansion. The expansion is more competitive and interactive. It's a subtle but noticeable change from the base game, so adapt your strategy accordingly. Those pink powers that let other players match your abilities can be a real pain when you're competing for end of round bonuses, so keep an eye on them. Remember that the percentages shown on the bonus cards stay the same when using the expansion. There are even more ways to integrate your game than before. Make sure those birds, end of round objectives, and end of game goals align as much as possible. With this expansion, there's a combination of birds that allows you to tuck and draw more cards and can help maximize later on the number of cards you tuck. With a little luck, you can make a lot of points in the wetlands. This expansion can fix the problem of running out of space when egg spamming. Ravens and Kildare convert eggs to resources, and now these can be converted directly to points with the right cards. That's how you play Wingspan European Expansion. It's a beautiful expansion. I think it makes the game better than it already is. If you've enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, or leave in the comments a game you'd like us to teach. We'll make more games easy soon. Bye now.